Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Forever World, the Let's Play that will never end. And we have a brand new skin this time. This one was designed by one of you called Shade PC, and we had a little vote in the Discord. We got about 6 skins made by you guys, and I appreciate every single one of you for doing that. It really does mean a lot to me. So we've got big plans today, and we actually are fairly organized, would you believe it or not? So if we head on down here, I've got a chest with a few items in it, and what we're doing today is upgrading our enchanting setup. Now, I did have a setup that was very temporary over in the spawner section. We originally did have one over here in the ground, but then we moved it for convenience sake, but who needs convenience? We're here to make this world beautiful. And I'm going to start off by clearing out this area. Now, there's a lot more trees than I thought of, so I probably should have done this beforehand, but I'm not very well known for my planning. And I think that's probably enough for now. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of all this dirt. Actually, I probably don't need to get rid of too much. I think we'd be alright just kind of building it on this higher section here. And the build today is from a comment left quite early on by Ankit Vashisht. I probably butchered that name, but it was to build a wizard tower for our enchanting setup, and I absolutely love the idea. So I'm going to challenge myself here, and we're going to make it out of diorite, and I'll figure out the texturing stuff and the palette kind of after I've built the base structure. And I also think crimson wood might look quite good on the top. Now, the inspiration I'm using for this was actually an AI image generator, because I wasn't about to try understand usage rights on Pinterest and all that kind of thing. I didn't want to get myself in trouble. So that's this image, and I just absolutely loved it. So I'm going to try to use it as inspiration, but not try to recreate it, if that makes sense. And I've got to kind of figure out a layout that I'm happy with here. Alright, here's the basic idea. It's going to be a sort of 2-tiered build, and it's going to have this section, which is the sort of shorter section, leading on into the tower, which will shoot up above it. And this is kind of a mock-up of how the enchanting setup is going to sit. I can maybe push it back a bit further, but we'll worry about that later. And I have had a lot of comments asking me to use replay mod in my videos and do sort of time lapses, and I have listened and I've actually installed it. So this is going to be my first attempt at a time lapse. I hope you all enjoy. Let's get right on into it. Now, in my defense, I haven't actually built a tower before, so this is kind of the best I could come up with. And you can see by the time lapse that I had to resize it maybe once or twice, but it's it's getting there. Now, it is a bit stumpy, and I need to figure out a way of making it less stumpy. And I don't actually know how I'm going to achieve that. I think we maybe just start from the top and build it to like where I kind of want it to be, and then we kind of just merge everything around that. Maybe if we go up to like there, and then on the sides we can kind of bring it up a little bit, like that maybe, and then we can bring that up a tiny bit there. I don't know if this is going to work out at all, but I'm kind of just trying things now. I'm actually really struggling with this. It's not at all turning out how I want it to, and I think what's making it more difficult is that I'm shaping it with diorite when that's not really the color it's going to end up being. So I'm actually just going to scrap it and then redo it and maybe build it out a little bit more, if that makes sense. Okay, so I've sort of come up with this. I've built it out around 3 blocks on each side, and this, like, ignore the stuff in the middle. This just kind of give me a bit of an idea. And then I've got to find the center and then kind of build up kind of where I want it to be. I probably want to make it taller, but then this way I can kind of just build everything out from here, if that makes sense. And I don't know if this is the best way to build a tower point. I've never done it. I'm kind of just winging it, and I think I'm getting there. I'm feeling a little bit better about it. And this wouldn't work in a time lapse because I'm kind of just, it's really slow and I'm taking things apart and it would just be very janky. I don't think it would work at all. So I'm trying to do my best with what I've got. And this is probably going to take me a really long time to kind of figure out. So we're just going to have to cut back once I feel a bit more happy with this. Actually, if I go like this and then build up from the outsides to meet in the center, maybe that will work out a lot better. I might be onto something here. Oh yeah, I'm really liking it. I've kind of gone a little bit flatter at the base, then kind of gone quite steep quite quickly, but it's at a point where I think I really like it. I'm just going to carry what I've done here on the other side and then try get a view from a distance. Yeah, I'm liking that. I've kind of gone a little bit flatter at the base and then gone quite steep quite quickly, but it's kind of at a point where I really am happy with it. I'm just going to carry what I've done here on each of these sides and then kind of find somewhere to get like a look from a distance and then see how I feel about it and then kind of carry on. But so far, I'm extremely happy with how it's turning out. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. The only thing I might change is just these, the second to the top ones. I might bring them up one more. And I think that will kind of make it seem a little more towery. Yep, I'm going with that wording. Absolutely nailed it. But you see, this is how I learn. I'm challenging myself to do things that I'm not comfortable with, that aren't my standard type of building, and that way I'm kind of forcing myself to improve with building. Okay, I'm really happy with how it's kind of filled in. I think I've done a fairly decent job. The only thing is it's looking very blocky, and as you see at the top I put a fence post. Now I'm going to kind of experiment a little bit with fences and slabs to see if I can round it off a little bit more. Now this might not work, but I want to see what will happen if I go to every corner and put these fences down. And then just in these corners where it's a little bit blocky and it's not a corner, I'll put a slab down and see if that kind of helps out a bit. You know, standing back from here, I am in love with it. I think it actually works. The fences really do make a pretty big difference in rounding it off. Now the only issue I have with it is from this sort of angle, it just looks weird. Like, I should have gone for a perfect circle. I don't know why I didn't, but I mean, I think I can salvage it. I think I can make that work. And that is just with the fences again. I think if I leave these kind of points, I guess they're points, and I just put the fences in here, it should give it a bit of a rounder look. Now, if you couldn't tell, I don't practice in creative before I attempt builds, but I feel like that is the best way of learning for me. All right, let's check this out now. It works. I think it actually works. Again, not a perfect circle, but it just somehow comes together, and we're never really going to be looking at it from that angle anyway. So like if you kind of see it through the canopy or from a distance, it just like, I think that is as good as I can do. Now we are going to get back to the tower in a minute here, but I need a little bit of a break, and I've been doing some thinking about the house here and this path, and I've been experimenting with tuff a lot in the like server that we all have together, and I think it's my new favorite block. Like I really like tuff, so I'm going to change all of this out for different variants of tuff, and it's just so much easier to texture with. I'll show you what I'm kind of thinking of. Now, most of the ideas with the path didn't actually come from me. They actually came from Codename Melon, Blake Miller, and Dion Beligulat. I hope I got that right. And there's too much to read out now, but basically they gave me a lot of good ideas to work with. I'm just going to start off with the walls here. And you can already see from just that, it just contrasts a little bit better than the stone does with the deep slate and the spruce. And again, it is super easy to texture with, which is kind of why I picked it. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And here we go. I don't know if I've over textured or under textured, but I am loving it, especially with the buttons like acting as stones. I just think it works so much better. Now is the time for my favorite part of the video, and that is name tag time. And again, if you want to be named after something in my world, all you need to do is leave a comment on the video, and I do this once per episode. It is random, and it's the only way I can really find to like select people at random. But today's name tag is after, oh, this is a hard name to pronounce, Ruth Mavreleon, and I probably butcher every name that I have to pronounce, but we're going to go Ruth because, I mean, it's just too hard for me to say the other thing. And I actually want to find another wolf. And I know I've been neglecting them a bit and we need to figure out a kennel. So I am going to quickly, in this episode, make a temporary home for them because I feel really bad just having them just sitting there in my storage room. It's not very good. And I think I'll use this time to explore the seed a little bit, and that doesn't look good, but we'll just ignore that for now. Preferably I'd find a wolf that is a different type to the two I have, but I'm not going to be overly picky because I'm not really seeing much right now. It looks like we found a ruined portal. Anything good for me? Not really. Oh well. And I'll just say while I'm running here, if you are keen on playing on the server, just follow the link in the description to get onto my Discord and you can join through that. It's been a ton of fun, and at some point I'll probably do some sort of tours of people's build on the world and stuff like that. So yeah, jump in and have fun, and it'll be good to get to know you guys a bit better. Yes, we found one. And okay, and he's a different one. I think I heard another bark around here somewhere. Yes, there we go. Oh, there's so many of them. Can I? Yes. Perfect. So we've got 3 dogs now, which I'll be able to name over the next coming episodes. But I will I'll name one this episode, and maybe next episode I'll do a villager because I do need to start setting up trades a bit better. And there we go. We've got Ruth, we've got Blake, we've got Judah, and we've got couple more, and I definitely need to make a kennel for these guys because this is bad. Now this is going to be very basic, and it is just because I don't want to keep feeling guilty. I am going to build a better one at some point very soon. So we'll just go like this, and then strip them down, and then put down a few fences. Perfect. And now some slabs. It doesn't need to be too tall because it is just for dogs. And then I'll just go like this around because if you've had dogs before, you know that they destroy grass. And now we grab them all. And hopefully they actually follow me into the kennel. I have a feeling this isn't going to work very well. Oh wait, no, most of them are coming, just not this one. So I'll sit you all down. And then should come through, and perfect. Now we have a kennel and I don't feel as guilty. And also the main thing is that they're away from my base and won't annoy me with the constant barking. I'll be honest, that's the main reason I did it. Okay, now one more thing quickly is this dock that we made last episode. I went a bit overboard with the campfire thing and I hate it. So I'm going to actually get rid of them all. I know I could be silk touching these, but I don't think I'm going to be using them again anytime soon. So I'm going to leave like maybe 2 and then it will just look like I've just patched it up a little bit. Just go like that and I'm liking that a lot better. I don't know what I was thinking by using so much, but yeah. Some things we try and they don't work out, but that's all right. Like the main thing is that I tried something. Now, as I'm running back down here to move the enchanting table, I realized between episodes that something must have happened when I was down in the nether and I'm missing my Fortune 3 pickaxe, which I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened, but it happened. So we've got a few levels to work with here and I'm going to try and get a Fortune 3. Now, a trick someone did point out in the comments was that if you enchant a gold tool or armor type thing with just the level 1, you actually get more XP back than you do with any other type of enchanted thing. So I'm really hoping I don't have to sit at the spawner any longer than I have to. This might suck. I'm getting silk touch over and over. This is I never get silk touch when I want it, and then when I don't need it, I get it all the time. Okay, this is the last try and we didn't get it. Time to sit at the spawner, and I am going to have to make a new one because this isn't incredibly efficient. So that's something I've got to do quite soon. Okay, so it's taken us a while, but we finally got Fortune 3 back. No efficiency, which it's unfortunate, but that isn't really that important because we use Silk Touch most of the time anyway. So heading back onto the tower now, I have been experimenting with texturing a lot, and I don't follow any YouTube guys just yet. I probably should. Oh, by the way, more mustache. Looks very nice. I probably should be following guides and stuff like that, but I really wanted to give myself a go at trying to learn it by experimenting, and then I can like sharpen my skills with guides and stuff like that. And what has really been helping me to kind of get my head around different palettes and stuff like this is I'll lay out the 3 blocks I'm going to use like in these little 2 block rows like this, and then I grab the blocks that I was going to be using and I kind of just randomly place them at the bottom here. And let's see if I go that and then that, and then it helps me kind of get an idea of how they work together when they're like mismatched. And I mean, I don't know, like it's just how it helps my brain. I don't know if it's like the best way for most people, but it does work for me. So we're going to go around here and I'm just going to give it a go, and I'm thinking if we maybe replace all... This is going to be very annoying to do, but if we replace all the main blocks with maybe this one, the polished diorite, or the... Yeah, polished diorite, and then I can use the other 2, the calcite and the normal diorite for texture, because I do like the kind of squared edges and stuff like that. So probably should have thought about this before I went ahead and did it and, you know, actually made the thing out of it. But, you know, I don't think ahead. That's just how I am. So we're going to do this. It's annoying, but I'll skip ahead so it's not going to be so painful for you guys. No, I really don't like it. I think it's too repetitive. I think we are going to go ahead and just use the normal diorite and then texture with the other blocks. I don't know what I was thinking there. Trial and error, that's what building is, and that's what it's all about. That's how we learn. Okay, so I had a little bit of a blockage with my brain, but I think instead of just stripping it all, and originally I was going to use calcite, but I'm not sure about that texture. And I really do want to still challenge myself with the diorite. So what I've done is I've come around and kind of just done a little bit of a base with these. And I think the way I'm going to go about this is similar to how I've done this wall here. So diorite, the regular type, is still going to be the main block. And then we're just going to like spread out these blocks around it like that. And I think it can come together quite well, especially from a distance. It does work pretty decently, and I think the calcite, we can use it in a few places, like just here, but very sparingly, because where I'm running into the issue is if I use the calcite too much, it just doesn't blend. We also have the option of using like wool, but I mean, it is still just a little bit too bright, so I will experiment with that. This is probably going to take me a really long time, but no, that's not the block. But yeah, I mean, I think I know how I want it to look now, and it's just about experimenting with the texture and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you see here, this is what I'm talking about. Like the calcite just makes it way too jarring, and if I'm just a bit more, how do I say it? If I'm a bit more sparing with how much texturing I'm doing, I think it can come across quite well. Okay, well, we have been busy, and I am actually quite happy with how it worked out. And for being quite new in texturing, I think I did a fairly decent job. I kind of went around, and I didn't, like, I sort of have a bit of a pattern, like, up the top, if I can actually get there and see, where I've gone down, like, 2 in some areas and then 1 in the other, and then it's quite random throughout. Now we've got to actually figure out something about the inside, and I'm not going to do too much. I do have a bit of an idea of what I want to do with this room, but I'm just going to do the flooring and put the enchanting table in, and then we'll sort the rest out later. But I do want to do a little something with fences, and that is to make like sort of little openings, and I think it's probably going to be smarter for me to do it on the outside than the inside, so I know I actually know where they're going to come out. So I think if we do a couple, actually it might actually look all right if we do them here. Let's see. I don't know whether I should, if I should bring it down 1 or not. Let's have a look. Okay, I didn't bring any of the stuff I actually need up, but you know what? I think the problem is it's not how high up it is. It's just that it maybe only needs 1. So let's just have a look if we do. Whoops. This is not going well. No, okay, maybe it does need to be a double. Let me stand back and have a bit of a look. It does look a little bit strange, but I think if I just do 2 of them on each side, it will work out pretty well. Okay, and I really do like that. And as you can see, we've gone around just before and we've kind of placed lanterns everywhere, so it looks pretty good at nighttime. And I actually went and made that little tip 2 higher, which I think makes it work out a lot more. And here's from a little bit of a better angle. I'm really happy with how it's all turned out. And I've just done this with the little window type things on each side. I just think with the fence, it works out a lot better for a castle. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. I'm actually impressed with myself. This is probably my favorite build I've ever done. You stop it, I'm trying to record. Okay, now I'm just going to go around on the inside and kind of neaten up all of this. And I think, you know, we can probably just go ahead and use these. I'm not going to be looking up here all the time. That's a bit random. Is that gonna... Okay, sweet. Alrighty, now... Yeah, like, it looks weird here, but I just don't really know how to make it look better. I think I could just bring it down 1, maybe? Yeah, no, I'll figure this out, but for the time being, let's just put the enchanting table in. We'll deal with all of this. We'll get rid of the dirt another time. It just needs to serve a purpose. And my favorite thing about builds is being able to incorporate your ideas into it. So if you do have any ideas about this build or any of the other ones, do leave a comment and hopefully I'll incorporate them. Okay, and I think we're finally finished with the tower. And one thing that I've just realized that I really like is deep slate, and not the cobbled deep slate, but the actual one you can get with silk touch. actually varies each time you place it down. So it does a lot of the texturing itself. Like this and this are the same block, but you wouldn't think it. Like it's just amazing. And I've kind of just done a bit more, variation. I put a few bricks down, a bit of smooth basalt and stuff like that. And we've got the enchanting set up here, which of course this is going to be, we're going to do a lot with this place, and it's going to look a little bit better than just a random bookshelf and an enchanting table. But I think I'm very happy with how far we've got on this episode. And there are stuff that I'm going to do with the base in the next few episodes. There are some things that, I've kind of let go, like maybe wood variation and things like that you guys have mentioned and I have listened to, but we're kind of out of time today. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please let me know, and leave a comment if you have any ideas for, other projects or what you want to see with this place. And again, if you do want to play with me, we are playing on a Java and Bedrock server, and you just have to join the Discord and we'll get you set up that way. And yeah, it'd be good to play with you guys and get to know you a bit better, and I'll see you in the next video.